But I have to say, as far as the physical part of it, I mean, I was a one patch wonder, but it was one pat that one no, it wasn't the one patch, it was 3 days. So I still say I'm like a one patch wonder because that's a short period of time. I was scheduled to have my left hip surgery, complete left hip replacement. I'd already had a complete right hip replacement. And so I put it off as long as possible, but everything was indicative. So I went the route. And the last thing to do was to make another appointment with my surgeon and see about when to schedule surgery. So 3 days after I was on the patch, I woke up and I noticed at least an 80% reduction in my pain in my hip. And I didn't even think that much about it because I had been concerned about some blood sugar issues. So I go over and I start testing my glucose monitor, which I'm not diabetic, and that's a whole different story. But my glucose monitor was showing that my blood sugar had dropped 10 to 20 points on average, and it's kept that way since I've been on the patch. I wear one of these just because of knowledge, and I'm a teacher. I'm a functional nutritionist, but I was so just like blown away by all of it. I kept thinking that the meter that I was checking with was making a mistake. And so I didn't really say anything to any family members. And but I did with the hip. I'm like to my stepdaughter who was visiting from San Francisco. I said, "Gosh, Shelly, I mean, I swear my hip feels so much better." And of course, I slept better because I wasn't tossing and turning because of the pain. So that was my short term. Now, that was just a little over a year ago. And without writing anything down, I can just tell you that absolutely everything on the introductory information that we give everybody about how your collagen's affected. I mean, my hair has come in way thicker. My hairdresser can't believe it. I go and have it dyed because it's mousy brown. I don't like it, so I put the red in it. But and my skin, I'm 71. A lot of people think I'm in my 50s. My recovery when I work out, and I do some pretty heavy duty working out. I love to lift weights. I'm an avid walker in the mornings. I play table tennis like hardcore, and shoot pool. And anyway, I'm very physical. My recovery, I noticed after the first month, I was recovering better. After 3 months, I was just like, whoa, I kind of feel like a new person. Instead of having to wait to recover a full 48 hours before I got back into my weightlifting, I was ready to go the next day. I mean, my recovery was it's incredible, especially for somebody my age. So then there's just a whole host of other things. Like I've had a lot of scar tissue that's been diminished. I had a bad scar on my left side from um, lung issues I'd had, and they had to do a lung biopsy. That scar is now gone, and that was a really deep scar. That disappeared about 6 months into the patch. So everything just keeps getting better. Floaters in my eyes have disappeared. My overall strength is crazy. So I'll never not wear the patch. So I could go on and on and on, trust me, about just the physical. But then as far as friends, like I want to say she's like my best friend ever now. I've got a couple in that category, but Annette absolutely tops the list because I consider Annette to be a sister. I'm probably closer to her than I am my birth sisters, especially one of them. That's a whole story. But I wouldn't have that if I hadn't met Annette. And then she, of course, introduced, the patch to me. And it's amazing. And then, of course, Mena, you are so fabulous. You and Greg. I haven't met a lot of other people just because of the restrictions of my husband, unfortunately, with Alzheimer's. But I've noticed a difference in him with his protocol as well. His strength is better, and his mental clarity is getting better along with other protocols. My mental clarity is just through the charts. And Annette will testify to this, but when I'm teaching class for a full 2 hours and I've got questions being fired at me left and right, whether we're on topic or not, because it's a very interactive class, I can just stay on track no matter what's being thrown at me. And I have never been able to do that. I mean, not to that extent. So that blows my mind. And my retention. I'm so thirsty for information. The retention is it's just there. So anyway, there's that, and then of course the family, and then as far as the faith, that this is what, and I'm so glad you said that, Diane, about the faith part of it, and you as well, Mena, because I I prayed and I prayed and I prayed for something. I couldn't be specific because I don't know. I don't know what he knows. And so I'd been praying for a long time for something to come into my life. And lo and behold, here comes Annette. Annette, get your staff out, get your little crown out, um, and LifeWave. So it helped me today to hear that I cannot keep it to myself because I am so passionate about helping people across all avenues of their health. But this is like the Mac Daddy. The X39 is what I call the Mac Daddy of all miracles.